Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back. Today I'll be continuing to paint my Chaos Knight. Yesterday I kind of did some, I sticky tacked an armor plate on. This is one where I finished up the trim. So I'll be doing more gold trim today. Hey, what's up, Juru? Went on a tear and bought tons of Ironjawz and Gloomspite Git Troggoths. Nice. That's awesome. The new Ironjawz that they came out with, I mean, I say new, but it was like, oh, was that last year? A few years ago, maybe, at this point? With the pig boys. The giant pigs are awesome. Yeah, I think they look schmexy. Yeah. Facts. Yeah, they look really nice for sure. All right, so they hit like garbage bags on 4s. Can't be good looking and good performing. Would never allow it. Yeah. Yeah, I have a few armor plates that still need some base coats of gold, and then I'll start the true metallic metal process. You'll notice that in Age of Sigmar, stat lines tend to be a little worse overall. And part of it comes down to the equivalent of like what you use your command points for. There's a thing called all-out attack, where it just gives you +1 to hit. And so they generally tend to factor that kind of thing in. Where you're kind of choosing which unit in that turn will be more effective. Wish you had some Blight Gold by P3. Yeah, I'm gonna need to pick some of that up. I've heard a couple people have recommended me Blight Gold by P3. Yeah, also in Age of Sigmar, things are a little bit more swingy, so you'll notice more like D6 damage, that kind of thing. In Age of Sigmar. And then they kind of bake in your consistency and stuff into like stratagems and abilities to like modify the stat line. It's kind of cool the way they do it in AOS. Yeah, and I went Destruction mainly, which is as swingy as it gets, for real. It is the swingiest. I would love to snag a Mega Gargant. Yeah. I'll keep my eyes out. I've seen a lot of people recently, because the Mega Gargant kit comes with like a lot of extra bits. But you can only build like one model from it. But I've seen people with like 3D printed parts and or sculpting to get like 3 Gargants out of 3 Mega Gargants out of one box. So I don't know if any of those options are, sound good to you, but it's just something I've seen, especially if you're planning on picking up a Mega Gargant kit. personally, I'm not great at sculpting. And I don't know how easy the 3D printer files are to get your hands on. From my understanding, in the lore, Gargan tribes are... Really? That'd be awesome. Especially considering the Gargants only have, like, 3 models to their name. I can make a snake with Play-Doh, yeah, facts. Yeah. I do have access to a 3D printer, though. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how easy it is to get your hands on those files. I'd imagine GW would want to shut that kind of thing down. But being able to build an entire Mega Gargant army, essentially, out of one box was kind of cool to see. Let's clear some of these ones that have some solid gold base coats here. Did you, were you thinking about getting your hands on a Kragnos model? Because I've heard that guy slaps. And it's a cool model. Reddit snagged? Nice! Train of damage? Yeah. Well, the big thing about Kragnos is I think... Excuse me. Got something in my throat. The big thing about Kragnos, I'm pretty sure, is he has a really nice ability to make your charges more consistent. Which is awesome. Especially for your destruction armies, you know? Yeah, here we go. Yeah. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to the number of dice rolled when making charge rolls for friendly destruction units while they're wholly within 12 to a maximum of 3. So just like... You just charge... You have like a potentially 18-inch charge or something, you know? As an aura for your units around him. On top of the fact that he's a train. Just got a Gargant for 165. Nice. That's a great deal. Yeah, Gargants are really funny. Because they have the whole, like, like, stuffing people in bags and stuff. And they can, like, suplex your units. Angron Transfigured is finally coming to pre-order. Sheesh! Yeah, the Gargants grabbing units, that's, yeah, it's a lot of fun. For sure. Angron Transfigured, huh? Oh, yeah. Sheesh. That's a banger model. Black Templars might have to get put in the bin. Yo, gotta go to Menards? Yeah, for sure. Talk to you later, Juro. get put in the bin while Angron Transfigured gets built. It becomes trans in the big 2026, yo. Yep, that's exactly what that means. Hey, what's up, Wolf? How's it going? I almost changed to Raptors yesterday. Is 1000% being pre-ordered though? Yeah, I don't blame you. Model's a banger. I'm gonna post a picture of one of my rhinos shortly. Nice. For the other one in the land carrier. I would think that that model is bigger than the 40k Angron. But maybe that's just his pose. With like the wings up like that. Kind of makes me think he'll be bigger, but I don't know. How big is 40k Fulgrim compared to Heresy Fulgrim? Need more Nightlord STLs though. Yeah, I don't know where any Night Lord STLs are. Although, I don't know if you've heard of Great Tide Studios or not, but they provide like really nice STLs for like extra bits for most chapters. I'm not sure if they do all of the legions as well, but they're definitely worth a look if you haven't checked out Great Tide Studios yet. Heresy Fulgrim is on a 40 mil base. Really? Oh, I didn't realize they were that small. I'm prepared to pay 150 for Angron. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of money. If he's priced like the Thunderhawk, I'm chalked. Yeah. Joy Toy is gonna make another Angron instead of Night Lords. Yeah. Luckily, I don't buy any of the Joy Toy stuff. It just doesn't interest me as much. It saves my wallet a little bit, you know? Yeah, that's fair. I don't think I'm gonna pick it up. Resin models in general, I'm kind of like on. I'm also not the biggest Angron enjoyer. And I can't believe I'm actually gonna say it. You're gonna buy Grey Knight Terminators? For the bits? Just for fun? If it's for the bits, you could probably just find bits for Grey Knight Terminators like online. For the hammers and helmets. Got it. Makes sense. And you like those helmets over the Deathwing Knight helmets? Fallen prey to the GW ecosystem? Yeah. It'd be like that sometimes, huh? To be honest, what I really want is custode helmets with the plume. Yeah, I like a good helmet with a plume is nice. I'm a big fan. All right. 2 more armor plates to go for base coat and gold trim. But yeah, I signed up for a at Adepticon. I got into a kill team tournament. It's kind of just like a 4-round pod tournament. But I think that's gonna be fun. Sadly, I didn't get into all the hobby seminars I wanted to, but that's okay. I got into most of them. I mean, aggressive looking helmet with little ornamentation. Yeah, on a Terminator that would look weird. Yeah, like I said, my first thought was like Deathwing Knights, but yeah, I don't know if there are any other Terminator scaled helmets like that. Does Horus Heresy do chapter-specific Terminator helmets? Because I know they do chapter-specific, like, you know, standard Marine helmets. No, not separately. Maybe an upgrade sprue. Yeah. Yeah, like I kind of mentioned before, Great Tide Studios would probably have, you know, a lot of good helmet options. But that's highly dependent on your ability to have access to 3D printer services. But yeah, they have some pretty cool, let's see here, like helmet options and extra bits, specifically for Black Templars. Let's see, here's the Lion's Pride, which would be Dark Angels. All these helmets have wings on them. Or hoods, which is like fair. And these heads are a little more like old-timey crusadery. But they didn't have any Night Lords. That's tragic. Yeah, I think the most recent one they put out was for Salamanders. Got a Salamander bit upgrade pack. I mean, the Mark 10 Terminator helmets look cool, but my theme is... yeah. Posted the Rhino in Discord? Alright. Nice. Yeah, I like the custom Rhino doors. The top one is especially cool. With the painting sloth in the background of the pics too? Sheesh! Yeah, that's a sick Rhino. Yeah, he's a pretty cool streamer. You should check him out. Oh, but say less. There's a dark mage that also, who is level 7, might banish you to the warp. Yeah. Gotta watch out for those dark mages. They cannot be trusted. All right, one more armor piece for base coat in gold. Especially around Tihio. He did, in fact, get swallowed up by the warp and spat back out. Been sick for like a week? Oh, that's tough. Yeah, those lingering colds will get you. I just hit 15k points. Hey, yo! That's a lot of channel points. Time for some warp shenanigans? Uh-oh. Dark Mage is now armed with channel points. Watch out. I mean, I've spent to paint and naming a dwarf Gimli, yeah. And he has been painted and named Gimli. Paid your tithes to the Imperium? Thank you. I did get my tithes to the Imperium set back up. I don't remember what the old counter was. It got wiped out when I upgraded my PC to Windows 11. So it's a new counter. Sorry. But it is back up and running and counting again, so we should be able to gamble with channel points. Yes, I do need to set that up. I've been meaning to. For all the gambling fiends out there. There's also like a duel where you can duel someone for points with points on the line. Damn Windows, yeah. Windows 11 got me. It tanked my stream setup. I was also trying to think of other channel point things that that you could spend on for like that's Chaos affiliated, not Tithes to the Imperium. I just couldn't figure out good options for all the Chaos gods, you know? Like Tithes was low-hanging fruit. That was easy. Posted third-party Terminator helmets? Let me see. Offerings to the Dark Gods? Yeah, offerings to the Dark Gods would work, but it's like... But then it's not specific. Like, you don't have offerings to Khorne, which I guess would be fine, right? It's like a Chaos Undivided, as opposed to... Those are kind of cool. I wonder what they look like inside a suit of like on a Terminator body. I'm having a hard time visualizing what these would look like on a model. But that could be a good option. If you don't want to buy boons of access for Slaanesh, yeah, that'd be good. I was thinking about like souls to the Citan or to the Catan, whichever. I don't know how you're actually supposed to say it. That could be a good one for Necron enjoyers. I don't know how many Necron enjoyers we have in chat though. Teeth for Gork and Mork. You know? That's a good... I'm gonna steal that one for sure. Blood for the Emperor, skulls for the Golden Throne. That's a good quote for sure. It could just be blood for the Blood God and just a flat counter. No units. Just... You have 3 blood for the Blood God. But I might stick with the Chaos Undivided option because doing like Xenos options don't have the same, like there's no like unified Xenos options. So going for a unified Chaos option would probably make my life a little easier. 3 blood could be a little or a lot. Yeah, who's to say? Nuts. One sloth point equals 1 Cadian lost to Abaddon's Black Fortress. Yo. The Magnus did nothing wrong. Yeah. Did nothing wrong, yo. Exactly. Oh, gold. You know? Painting gold is really a full-time job, huh? Gold trim, yeah. So the Inquisition doesn't catch on to our heresy? Yo, facts. Trim, that's all I know, yeah. This is why my last or my next knight will not have gold trim on the armor. It'll be something else. I've decided. Truly heinous way to paint trim faster? Oh no. Do I want to hear this? Yeah. Let's hear it. Don't tell Duncan Rhodes. Don't thin your metallics. No! You have to thin them. That's too funny. Love a good Reichland Flesh Shade wash to get things going. Oh, I didn't see it, but thank you, Wolf, for the hydrate. I got you. And the posture. This is what the Imperium doesn't tell you. You don't need to thin your paints. You're not painting with a loaded brush. That is true. That is a good shout. It is something that's probably not talked about enough in like videos catered to new hobbyists, is like controlling the amount of paint on your brush. But I also always thin my paints, so. Can't say that I recommend doing that instead of thinning your paints. It's like an and. I got too much in the shot. Too many armor plates here. The true heresy is that you can prime a mini with Abaddon Black? Yo. That is a pretty heretical take. I mean, you can like forego the priming process in favor of like varnishing, I think. Like if you apply your base coats and then varnish on top of it, I think it gives you a similar level of like protection. But I always both varnish and prime because the amount of time I spend on this, I'm not taking any chances. The world will end before this paint comes off my model, you know? This is the stuff you learn when you start hobbying young on a budget. Yo, facts. Something truly horrendous for the first 2 years. Cutting off this with scissors? No, dude. No, don't tell me. It's scissors. Terrain boarded with empty Pringles cans covered in paper mache. Yeah. The old cereal boxes, terrain too. That was a good time. See, my brother and I, we just didn't play with terrain. Which is probably why I always lost. Playing Eldari into his Space Marines. I just get shot off the table. Nothing gets the creativity flowing like having no money. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I've done that. It's super fun. Yeah, no terrain is an experience. I did not get good coverage on the back. How much does it matter though? Maybe not at all. We'll find out. Ever take like 2 units and just fought to the death? No board, just pure dice roll? I did not. Generally, what ended up happening is 10-year-old me would show up with like my newly painted Eldari. My brother would annihilate my models, and then I would cry. And that was how me and my brother played Warhammer. I was truly one with the WOG in my games. Nice. Yeah, it was a lot more fun when we actually were able to make it down to the GW store and play on the boards with terrain and stuff. But our home games were atrocious. Oh man. Just pure combat and thinking later? Yo, facts. It's a great way to play orcs, you know? Yeah, we also never played any missions or anything. It was always just Dawn of War style, duke it out. Whoever killed the most models won. It might be the only way. I love games. Sitting an objective behind a wall is not fun. Yeah. My favorite narrative games are Last Stands, yeah. Good ones for sure. Alright. A fully deployed force. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, like you have like a fortified like a fortified space against a horde of Tyranids. Alright, we got all of our gold base coated and Reichland flesh shaded. Which means we can get down to the actual process of doing our true metallic metal. One of my favorite recently was against Imperial Guard. Set up barricade terrain. Yeah, it's cool. Kind of like a siege style. A siege style match. First step, of course, Reichland Flesh Shade Part 2. Hey, going. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Dark Mage. I appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again next week. Next week might be doing the same thing. It won't be all gold trim, but it'll probably still be painting this night, so. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Or a great start to your next week. Yeah, those are looking pretty good. For the Reikland Flesh Shade step. Alright, I think at this point I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah, just a bunch of gold trim here. I got all the gold trim at least base coated and washed. Now I'm just working on the kind of the highlighting process. Yeah. And I will probably be continuing this model next week, but I'll do my best to make sure that the gold trim is done for next week. Until next time, though, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!